Hi everybody, and welcome to our finally oral test for our English 1 class.
We are Jose Guzmán
Daniel Muñoz.
And Valentina Salinas.
and today we will show you how to easily prepare a chocolate chips cookies recipe for sharing with your friends and family.
Before start, we need to buy some ingredients for the recipe.
For that, we're going to an Olympic store to get them. We need
70 grams of butter,
250 grams of flour,
85 grams of sugar,
an egg,
1 spoon of vanilla extra, and chocolate chips.
also non-stick paper, wrap paper, 2 bowls, and an over tray.
and finally a pinch of salt.
Concluding the search of the ingredients, we go to the checkout to pay for the items. After this, we can finally start with this recipe. Before you start, it is important to preheat the oven to 180 centigrades for 50 minutes. First of all, we prepare our place, the kitchen, and get our cooking tools ready, the ingredients and a bowl. Once we are ready to start, we begin by slicing the butter bar and put inside the bowl. Then, spread the sugar and sprinkle a bit of salt covering the butter.
You have to scramble the mix until it's homogeneous and dense. As soon as you've made it, you're going to break the egg and pour it over the mix along with a bit of vanilla extract. Right after that, scramble again the new mix until it reaches a creamy texture, or something similar. Thereafter, you will need another bowl to measure the needed amount of flour. For this recipe is 250 grams. Once it's measured, pour it into the mix and scramble again. It has to acquire a sandy texture.
For this recipe, we decided to make chocolate chips cookies. So we are gonna use 60 grams of chocolate chips and pour it over the mix. But you can use as much as you want. And if you want to make cookies without a topping, you can skip this step. Also, you can go for a different topping if you want, like sprinkles. This step is important. You have to spread some flour over your counter and over your hands. This is because you'll need to grab the meat and knead it with your hands against the counter. The flour helps the meat not to cling to your hands or the counter.
Once it's kneaded, wrap the mix with the plastic wrap and leave it in the fridge, not the freezer, for 30 minutes. "30 minutes later, take the mix out of the fridge and unwrap it over the counter. For the next step, you will need the roll. Spread some flour over the roll and again on the counter, and roll the mix against the counter. Flatten the mix like we do in the video, but don't leave it too thin.
Right after, you can use the cookie cutters over the flat meats to give shape to your cookies. We used star-shaped and flower-shaped cookie cutters. Apply a lot of pressure with the cutters on the meats, because you will have to remove the spare parts, like we do in the video. Once you only have your shaped cookies on the counter, take the oven tray and cover it with non-stick paper. Then take the cookies from the counter and put them on the tray. Our tray isn't a bigger one, so we put just a few. Make sure the cookies aren't close to each other.
Afterward, take the tray to the preheated oven and bake the cookies to 180 centigrades between 50 and 20 minutes. After those minutes, be sure the cookies aren't too soft. If they aren't, take the cookies out of the oven and move them away from the tray to a wash plate. As the final step, allow them to cook for at least 50 minutes, and that's it. You will have delicious chocolate chips cookies to enjoy alone or with friends.